All right, welcome back, everybody. No guts, no gluten. I'm Tony. Today we're going to be doing some gluten-free pumpkin rolls. Yes, gluten-free pumpkin rolls. All-time favorite for this time of year. So we're going to do 5 of them because you can get 5 out of 1 can of the pumpkin puree. And I'm going to be using Libby's. So I'm going to get some things measured out and we'll get started. All right, first of all, we're going to separate 3 eggs. And then for anybody that has a fancy dancy egg separator, you can use that, but God gave me 2 egg separators. And that's all. Then if you got any of these white gushies, as my wife calls it, you want to try and get them out if you can. Might have to use a spoon or a fork to get them out. So we're going to go ahead and separate the eggs just like that. So now the eggs are separated. We're going to go ahead and get the egg yolks and some sugar started. Once I wash my hands, we'll get that started. All right, so now we're going to beat the 3 egg yolks. I guess I could have waited to put that on. Make things a lot simpler. All right, that's a nice lemony color. That took, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So now we're going to add a cup of sugar, but I'm going to use Splenda because there's going to be a lot of powdered sugar in this. So I'm going to start with half of the cup, and then the other half is going to go into the egg whites once we beat them. So I lost my half cup. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit in there. Add just a little bit at a time. And I'm just going to scrape down the sides. Let that mix for a couple more minutes. All right, now we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of the pumpkin puree. 1 can of pumpkin is going to make 5 pumpkin rolls. The last pumpkin roll is not quite going to have 2/3 of a cup, but it's still going to be enough. So if you wanted to add just a little bit less than 2/3 of a cup to get you to the end, you can do that. So we're going to mix this up. That's about all you need to do for that. All right, now we're going to start on our egg whites. All right, now we're going to whip the egg whites. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar at a time. So I'm going to get this started. What? So in goes the first 1/4 cup of sugar for Splenda. All right, I think it's time to add the next 1/4 of a cup of sugar. So it's starting to thicken up. I don't know if you can see that, but so we'll go ahead and add the other 1/4 cup. All right, I took a quick second to scrape down the sides. So we're going to go about 5 minutes to see if we get stiff peaks. And then we're going to go 2 more minutes and see if that does it. If it doesn't, something went wrong. All right. We got some stiff peaks. That might have been maybe a minute too long. I think we have maybe over stiff peaks, but all right. So what we want to do now is fold this into the pumpkin. All right, we're just gonna add a little bit of a thyme, and you just want to gently fold this in 2 or 3 times around the corner. Because you don't want to have this break. So probably add 3 or 4 times in here. And you kind of want to leave it swirly. Oops. I'll probably just go the rest of this in there. You definitely do not want to over mix this, because this is what's going to be the light and airy part of the pumpkin roll. So it's okay if it's, like I said, if it's has some swirls in it. All right, so now we're going to get the dry ingredients together. All right, so just set that aside. And I'll get the dry ingredients. I'll be back. All right, now for the dry ingredients, I got 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose gluten-free flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder or baking soda, I'm sorry, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So all I'm going to do is just whisk this up a little bit to incorporate everything, make sure everything's mixed up and you don't get a big chunk of, not chunk, but you don't get cinnamon or salt in one bite. So that's all you're really doing to it. And that's it for that. And now we're just going to fold this some. I'm going to go probably divide this in 3s. Not divide it into 3, but 3 times I'm going to add this, just to make sure everything's mixed, folded in. And again, you don't want to over mix this, so mix it maybe 5-6 times. Fold it in 5-6 times and add another third of it. Would it be a third, and a third? Don't know. Was never too good at math. So, and it is okay to have some lumps. Lumps are good. All right. So that's the rest of it. And then if I didn't mention before, you should have your oven heated up to 375, and you want a jelly roll pan sprayed down with parchment paper, or parchment paper then sprayed down with gluten-free cooking spray. You just want to make sure you don't get the kind that has the flour in it, because then that would not be gluten-free. All right, so I'm going to say that's about done. I'm going to reach behind me. I already have some parchment paper on my jelly roll pan, all sprayed down, ready to go. And then if you have trouble with these, keeping the ends down, once you put something in here, the ends will stay down. But you can also take a little bit of Crisco and put a dab behind it on the pan and use that like glue. So we're just gonna add this in here. And spread it around. All right, and then I'm going to get an offset spatula and going to smooth her all over. Ask and you shall receive. And you definitely want to kind of get this evenly spread. Once you have it spread, you can go ahead and throw it in the oven. All right. We'll go ahead and get that in the oven for 11 to 13 minutes. And you just don't want to make sure you overcook it, because then it will be cracked when you go to roll it. So 11 to 13 minutes, we'll be back. All right, we're going to give her a little try. We got about a minute left. And then we're going to give it the toothpick check. All right, nice and dry. Yep. So we're going to bring you up here. How'd you like the oven cam view? All right. So we're going to let this cool for 5 minutes. And then we'll get it in a towel. We'll powdered sugar the top, get it in a towel, and then we'll let it cool. All right. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Now we're going to powder sugar this whole thing. So I got my little sifter here. And you want to very, very heavily powdered sugar this. You don't want to see the cake whatsoever. And trust me, the more powdered sugar you have, the better. Okay. Now comes the fun part. We got our towel here, and we're gonna lay this over. Now the pan should be cool enough to handle. Move the wire racks out of the way. And you basically just want to like fold the ends in, grab it from the bottom so you got a good grasp on it. And then you're just going to turn it over, uncover it, take it out of the pan, and that'll let you know how well you sprayed your pan if that comes right off. And then we're going to get more powdered sugar. That's why I go with the Splenda, because there's a lot of powdered sugar in here. So we're going to coat this again with powdered sugar. And go a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead and roll this up. All right, I'm going to make some room, and then we'll be back. All right, now we're going to spin this. And you kind of want to do this quickly because you have the cake that's still warm on the bottom. So we're going to want to try and get this as best we can. All right, so now we're just going to roll it tightly. And you can feel how warm it still is. All right, now we're going to put this on our wire rack to cool for about 30 minutes. And while this is cooling, we're going to make the filling. All right, we got our 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to go ahead and get that whipped up, and then we're going to add our vanilla and powdered sugar to it. So let's get this whipping. Whip it good. All right, now we're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla, and then get that mixed up. All right, now we're going to add our cup of powdered sugar slowly. You don't want to end up looking like you just came from Diddy's party there with white powder all over your face. So I'm going to add a little bit more than scrape down the side of the bowl. So it's about a third, a third, and a third, and a third. Yes, I did say that about Diddy. I shouldn't though, because I don't know if that's true or not, but oops. All right, so we got the bottom, we got the side. Get this off the spatula. All right. Now to add our last of the third of the cup. All right, got that all mixed in and incorporated. I'm just scraping it and making sure everything's off the bottom of the bowl. All right, we got about another 20 minutes before that's ready to go. So I'm going to start my second pumpkin roll. And if anything changes, I'll be back when we're ready to roll. Spread and roll, that is. All right, it's been about, I'd say, roughly about 40-45 minutes. 30 minutes is the minimal you need to let this cool. You can let it cool a little bit longer, but not too much longer. So we're going to take it and unroll it. You want to unroll it slowly. And then once you get to the end back here, just kind of, you don't want to flatten this out, just leave it up like that. And if you just heard somebody say nice, that was my wife. She's back there. You want to come around, and since you're here. All right, so we got our, there she is.
Sometimes he lets me do the eggs. That's about it.
She's my egg separator.
And dishwasher. That's about it.
All right, get out of here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this baby stuffed. So you want to keep it somewhat, I guess I should have separated that a little bit more. You want to keep it like maybe, a finger length away or width away from the edge. It's a little bit cold today, so the icing is not spreading well. So if that happens, pop it in the microwave for about 5-6 seconds. And then it'll spread a little bit easier, or just go ahead and mix it up. And as I always say, you paid for all the ingredients, scrape the bowl, get them out. That's like leaving one shrimp on your plate at the all-you-can-eat buffet. You paid for it, might as well eat it. You know what, I'm going to run my spatula, or my offset spatula, underneath some hot water. To help it spread a little bit easier. And then you want to keep it, like I said, about a finger's width apart from the edge, because it's going to roll a little bit once you start rolling. And then just move everything around to where it's spread even. All right. So I think that's about good. Yeah. Don't have to be perfect. All right. And now we're just going to spin this back around. And basically the same way we rolled it up before, I'm going to roll it up again. But we're not going to get the towel in this time. So just roll it, bring your towel back, roll it, bring your towel back, roll it, bring your towel back, and roll it. Don't want to go over the edge. And there you go. And then we're going to get some foil, and we're going to powdered sugar the foil. Well, I'll show you that. I'll be right back. All right, I got my foil. So we're basically going to put these in the freezer. So if you put these in the freezer for any period of time, you're going to use freezer paper, but it's not going to stay in the freezer that long. So foil down on the bottom, powdered sugar on the bottom, powdered sugar on the top, and then it cracked a little bit once I picked it up. But we're just going to bring these together, fold it, and then double layer it. Then the crease is going to be on the bottom. Let me know that that's the bottom. And you can also write on here, bottom. All right, the next one's coming out of the oven. So we'll get that taken care of. And we'll be back. All right, I'm going to show you how to roll it up again. Just unroll it the same way, very carefully. This is the second one, second of 5. I'm going to go ahead and get iced up. And then I don't know if I mentioned how long to keep the pumpkin roll in the freezer until you can use it. Probably overnight is best. And then you want to slice it frozen, and then you can serve it chilled it'll be fine, but they're so much easier to slice when they're frozen. So half hour before you serve it, you can pull them out of the freezer. And then just go from there. So basically, I can get this spread out, and then I'll bring it back when we're ready to roll. Rock and roll. All right, now we're just gonna roll it up again. So once we get started, you just want to tuck and roll, tuck with your fingers, pull with the towel. Tuck and roll. And then once we get to the edge, we'll leave it right there. Then we'll get our foil and we'll do the same thing. And then I'll show you how to do that again. All right, so we got our foil, powdered sugar down, take it out. Gently lift it up, place it down, you get a little light dusting. And then once again, this is going to be the top. Bring it up, crimp down. Oops, gotta turn it this way. And then we're going to put this on the bottom side and into the freezer. All right, that's number 2. Number 3 is coaling, and we got 2 more to go. All right, we got our pumpkin roll out of the freezer. We're going to give her some powdered sugar. Powdered sugar our plate and our serving plate. And let's see, let's use, it's still frozen. Of course it is, because I pulled it out of the freezer. And then you can cut these any size you want. Look at that. And then serve them just like that. If my niece Ella was here, she'd be gone. She'd be in the laundry room or something with this whole pan, this whole pumpkin roll, and come out with powdered sugar all over her face and be like, what? And then if you don't want to put all these out, you can put them in individual baggies. and put them in the freezer. Back in the freezer. Look at that. Yummy, yummy. And then pull them out for a snack. So I'm going to be able to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. But I'm going to eat the 2 ends. So I got 11 slices out of there. Of course, you can make them bigger, smaller, whatever. And there you have it. So pretty simple. Once you get the hang of rolling it, that's basically it. Now comes the fun part. This is the reward for our hard work. That's good. It's really simple. You just can't stop eating them. But, I mean, that's a lot, you know. And I'm going to price this out to break it down. I mean, you get 5 pumpkin rolls out of a can of pumpkin puree. Yeah, you get 5 out of these, and they're what, $3.99, $4.99. And if you have the gluten-free flour, the eggs, you know, the powdered sugar, I'll price it out. I don't know if it'll be in this video, but I'll post something. So, all right, I'm going to go finish my pumpkin roll. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to it. You know, every subscriber helps. I'm not out, you know, it'd be nice if I had, you know, 1,000 subscribers, but I'll get there eventually, I'm sure. But, you know, hey, stay tuned. In probably a month, maybe, or, you know, something. Gluten-free lady locks. All right, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we're still doing the giveaway. 125 subscribers. Someone's going to get maybe some pumpkin rolls, lady locks. What else? Nut rolls. I have done. Pizzelles, gluten-free pizzelles, gluten-free nut rolls. Everything's gluten-free. So thanks for watching. And again, I want to shout out to my wife for doing all my dishes. And there's a lot of dishes, you know, and she doesn't gripe, well, she gripes about it, you know. And maybe I'll give her some pumpkin roll, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Should I, you know, or take her out to dinner? Should I take her out to dinner?
Yes, please.
Who was that? All right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Every time, you know, I appreciate you. And the comments are great. Keep them up. And, you know, if you're watching me, drop me, you know, in the comments where you're watching from. And I have more people watch the videos and don't subscribe. So just click that subscribe button and like button, and then you'll get videos, you'll get notification of every video I do. So until next time, I'm Tony. This is No Gluts, No Gluten. Thanks. We'll see you later.